So today's my birthday, and I wanted to do something really special for myself and make my own custom Sims 2 neighborhood from scratch with using SimCity 4. And personally, I have never made my own custom terrain at all, but after doing a lot of research on YouTube, Mod the Sims, Twitch, everywhere, I feel like I know a thing or two on how to make a custom terrain, especially how to do it the right way. Now, personally, I have no recollection of ever buying SimCity 4 on Steam, but apparently I bought it a couple years ago for like $15–20 on a sale, which is probably a smart thing for me to do now and then, and for you all to remind yourself, wait for a sale to buy any game because things are very expensive. But when I found out I had SimCity 4 in my Steam library collecting dust, I was so excited to boot it up, learn more about it, how to do it properly, and just kind of get my bearings across. I've done a couple of trials and errors of making my own custom map with SimCity 4 to The Sims 2. I posted it on like Twitter and Blue Sky, and you all seem to really like it, and I might actually release those other two terrains that I've made as like, here you go, have fun. But when I looked up on YouTube on how to do it the proper way from start to finish, and so I want to thank Alex Art on YouTube of making a comprehensive guide video on how to make a Sims 2 custom neighborhood from scratch from using SimCity 4, Hood Planner by Lazy Duchess, but then also how to convert that from the SimCity 4 to Sims 2, and learning about the essential mods, making custom NPCs, custom memories, wants and fears, the list goes on and on. And if it wasn't for that video, I would have no clue how to do it properly because everything in SimCity 4 to Sims 2 is flipped. So whatever you put on the left side in SimCity 4, in the Sims 2, it'll be on the other side. And I did not know that at first, but after doing a couple of my own little trial and error maps, I learned it the hard way because my terrain was so bumpy and weird. But understanding a little bit more from his video, I was like, everything becomes a lot more clearer when I see it on a video because I'm a visual learner. But I will have to say, I feel so happy and so just excited about this hood because it's a project that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, but I didn't know how to do it. And thanks to Alex Art, I feel like I know a thing or two now. And so if you want to make your own custom Sims 2 terrain, I will leave a link down to his video and his channel. So that way you can get a little bit more of an understanding on how to do it for your game. It'll work the same way for Sims 2 Legacy Edition because it's the Sims 2 and SimCity 4 utilizes that system. Every map that you see in The Sims 2, like Pleasant View, Veronaville, Desiderata Valley, Belladonna Cove, used SimCity 4 to make that terrain. So if you want to do a little project for yourself, I say go for it. But definitely check out the Hood Planner by Lazy Duchess to kind of give you a bit more of a playing around before you get into the game itself. Because like I said, everything is flipped. What you put on the left side will be on the right side and vice versa, even including the roads, because when I did these roads on Twitch, I was so confused at first because I didn't know what I wanted to do with like the road placement, and I also just wanted to play around with it and everything. But with this neighborhood, what I'm trying to do is make a very small neighborhood, but it's spread out in different regions. So you have like a little farm area, a little rich, gated community area, a woodsy area, a mini city area, and the town square. It's filled up with 10 households with so much drama, love affairs, scandals, crime, robbery, everything is insane because me and my Twitch community put this together on stream. It took us about like 4 hours to kind of come up with the idea, making the actual terrain with the road placement and the bridges, but it was so much fun. I will say I've always loved The Sims 2. I've been playing it my entire life. I love all the lore. I love all the drama. But Pleasant View was the one neighborhood that I knew I would fall in love with because there's so much rich, deep history from the Pleasant family, down Lothario, the Goth family, the Calientes, even the Broke family alone. And every single Sim in The Sims 2 has their own individual bio to kind of give them more of a personality of who they are as a Sim, separate from their household. Like Dawn could have a whole bio, but Nina and Dina could have their own bio that is so different to compare to what they are together. And it only makes me fall in love with them more. And so with this town called Rosewood, what I wanted to do is that there is a family of 3 generations called Rosewood. The Rosewood family are the richest family in this town. They've lived here for a very long time, but one of the Sims actually has fallen into a scandal, a love affair of another household. But that child in that love affair has been, like, put into the foster care system, adopted, and everything. However, this child recently graduated from university. Not really sure what their career is going to be. I haven't really decided that yet, but we were thinking like engineering or art or oceanography or even business. We haven't decided, but this child has no recollection of who their parents are, especially where they come from, their parents, their lineage, nothing. All they know is their adoptive parents. They were put into the foster care system since they were like 1 years old, and their father knows they exist somewhere in this world, but they don't know that they have returned to Rosewood. That Sim is the sole heir to the Rosewood fortune, but they don't know that yet. They have three other siblings that are all adults. One's in business. I think one is in journalism and the other one is in a different career, but they don't know that they have another sibling that might take the fortune away from them. And so there's like a crime family, there's a suburban family, there's even like this senior center filled with elders, about like 4 or 5 elders, and they live right next to a grave cemetery, which in a way I was thinking it'd be kind of a funny haha moment, saying, oh, elders in The Sims 2, here's your next place of, residence. It's kind of weird, but I know it's definitely common in certain places around the world. And I always love putting cemeteries in my Sims 2 game, because when Sims 2 Sims elders die, you are allowed to actually put their grave on a community lot or just leave them on your own home lot. Now, personally for Rosewood, knowing that this town has so much rich, deep history and the Rosewood family has their own family crypt, I want to make sure that I'm putting them in a proper place. Now, with this town, there are different sections. The town square is like smack dab in the middle. In the far like left-hand corner of this map in the SimCity 4 terrain is like a very woodsy, rundown area with like a motel, a diner, grocery store, and even like some houses here and there. But then on the far back of the map is like a very like woodsy but farm area. You have your farmers, you have your farmers market, another grocery store, but all homegrown stuff. And then on the other side, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with that part, but I do know that on the outskirts of town that has no road connection is a crazy cat lady. We don't know her name. We don't know the vibe. We just know that she loves cats and has a few of them and lives by her lonesome. We were thinking like some type of witch or some type of like supernatural lover, because there is actually one teenager in this hood who lives in a suburban family house who is obsessed with occults. And we were thinking one could be a vampire, but we were also thinking the supernatural side of being like a warlock or a witch. Because in order to become a witch, you have to befriend another witch or meet the witches, either good or bad, on a community lot. You'll know who they are because one will like spew, thunder and rain, and the other one will share like shimmering sunshine. Basically, Galinda and Alphaba from Wicked, but in The Sims 2, because the green witch is green and the good witch is like sparkling white and goodness. But if you know. But I've always wanted to tap into the idea of magic in The Sims 2 because I never fully did it as a kid. As vampires, I just let them burn alive. Werewolves, never knew how to do it. We never had mermaids. We had zombies. We had ghosts, but never really tapped into the idea of, being a witch or a warlock. Plus, you can get a familiar and it's kind of cool. Now, I was gonna actually add in a beach lot into this neighborhood, but I felt like for it being my third time making my own custom terrain, and I'm still learning how to do it properly, I did not want to include it, so I removed it after the fact. And I think when I make another one, I'll probably add it in at some point because I do want to make more. Because doing my own reviews of other custom neighborhoods like Archelaus, Silent Peaks, those are so unique and so customized. They're all scripted. They all have their own drama, their own mysteries. And I was like, I want to make my own just like that, but in a little bit of a different way. I'll try my best not to use any custom content in this neighborhood, but if I do, it'll be very little, very just small, and I will link everything that I will be using if I do use custom content in this neighborhood. The houses in The Sims will not have CC, but the neighborhood might have custom content. And so then again, I do say if I do use CC, I will link it as always. But I do want to show you the terrain and also the progress that we've made thus far in The Sims 2. So before I tell you how to install a SimCity 4 terrain to The Sims 2, what I forgot to mention in my speed build portion is that you have to have a small map terrain for the terrain to work in The Sims 2. So for example, like these little squares right here are all small map terrains that will be compatible with The Sims 2, Sims 2 Ultimate Collection, Sims 2 Legacy Edition. They're all the same, but you have to choose a very small map. These larger squares will not work at all. I learned that the hard way. It gave me an error saying this does not work. So I went back and fixed it and used the small squares and it was compatible. So again, I say use the small squares and not the large squares, so that way your terrain will work. But let me go ahead and show you how to install a SimCity 4 terrain to The Sims 2. So you want to go to your SimCity 4 folder, go to Regions. Mine is usually in Timbuktu. I'm not sure about these other ones, but normally it's always in a Timbuktu folder. And once you go to your Timbuktu folder, you'll be able to find your file name, whatever you named your city. Mine is called Rosewood parentheses 2 because I've already made another one called Rosewood by mistake, but mine is called Rosewood parentheses .sc4. You want to go ahead and copy that file, go to your documents, EA Games, whether it's Sims 2 Legacy or Sims 2 Ultimate Collection, or even The Sims 2, all the passwords are the exact same thing, but it depends on what version of The Sims 2 you have. Mine will be the Sims 2 Ultimate Collection. You want to go all the way down to SC4 Terrains, and then paste your file in this folder. And then you'll see it right here at the tippy top. And then you can go ahead and boot up your game, and your terrain will be in the terrain selector when you make a custom Sims 2 neighborhood. So once you have your SimCity 4 terrain imported into the Sims 2 folder, like I showed you, you want to boot up your game like we have and go all the way to the end of your choose your neighborhood to play. You'll see create custom neighborhood. You want to click yes, and then you'll see a plethora of like custom terrains. Usually the majority of them are all made by EA themselves or Maxis, but whatever you named your terrain in SimCity 4, you'll see it in this list. And like I said, mine is called city-rosewood parentheses 2.sc4, which stands for SimCity 4. And I will also link this down below in the description if you want to use my custom terrain that I made myself. So if you want to use it, you can. But that's how you do it. You choose your custom neighborhood, you click load template. You can name it whatever you want. Of course, mine is called Rosewood. You can give it a description now or later, and you can choose the terrain type. Lush is more green, dirt, desert, or concrete. Choose whatever you want, and then click load neighborhood. And then you'll be good to go. Now that I showed you how to start your custom neighborhood using your terrain that you made or downloading somebody else's, I can now show you my custom terrain that I made in the beginning of the video. Of course, it's still called Rosewood. There's no description just yet. We're still in the bare beginnings. I've only done like a few things so far, so bear with me. It's still a work in progress. We've only done one lot. We did do some lot placement, some trees here and there, but we still got some bare bones to work with. But I really love what I've done so far, especially on Twitch. Now, this is what the neighborhood looks like. Again, I say, not much going on, not very exciting, but I want to take you through the journey of what I've done with my neighborhood thus far. And I've only done it for like 2 days. So again, bare beginnings. But like I said, everything in SimCity 4 to Sims 2 is flipped. So you probably had seen this hill on this side. Well, it's now on the other side. And it's like kind of crazy, but I do like where everything is being placed. We have a little town square over here. We're still like figuring out where we're going to put all the lots and everything, but we do have a little rec center that will be placed right here. We have a little starter home area over here. We got the first house almost done. We just do the landscaping and a few modifications, but the first house has been built for a university student who is the sole owner and heir of the Rosewood fortune. So they will live here, and we'll have a few starter homes over here. I might place another lot here and here, And then we have a few houses over here that we'll place down. We have, I think this is gonna be a park area, and then the senior center will be over here. And then up here, of course, is gonna be the more woodsy area. I'm still placing down like my trees and like what lots I want up here. But the majority of everything, we have a small park, a bar, a little library, a little strip mall. We'll have a convenience store, a little diner, and then this right here will be the hotel that will be placed right here. I'm thinking of adding in maybe another trailer park, but for the majority of the part, we have all of our stuff here. I'll add more trees later, but for now, it looks good. But as we make our way over here, we have a wheelwright head, which is a part of the game. We have a little train coming through this way. And then, of course, this right here is not a part of the game. It's custom content. So like I said in the video, I will link all the custom content that I will be using in this neighborhood. It won't be a lengthy list. It might be like 1 or 2 items. But if I do use CC, I will link it, of course. But I thought for realism, adding in a little train tunnel seemed really, really cool for that nice touch. But we still don't know what we're going to do with this area. I might add in a fake train station center. I'm not too sure, with like food and vending machines and a lot of miscellaneous stuff will probably be put over here. And then over here will be like the rich part of the neighborhood where the Rosewood family and a few other Sims will live over here. This little square will be like the country club, recreational center, tennis ball court, soccer, whatever in this area for the people who will live in this neighborhood. We'll have a little check-in area that will be very, very small, just to get like, you know, newspapers, drinks, bits and bops, stuff like that. And then on the outskirts of town, like I said, it's not connected to any roads, is where the cat lady's going to live. But, you know, I thought it'd be very healthy, very safe, of course, to add a power plant across her house. I mean, it seems safe. It looks nice. Well, needs a little bit of a touch up, but it's fine. But I did add in a lot of like billboard signs, a little highway sign over here, and a monorail kind of near the cat lady's house, because I feel like that's some type of transportation that she'll take to the other side of town. I'm thinking of adding in another house over here, or at least something to give her some community at least, but I'm not too sure just yet. But for now, this is what I've got for this side of the map. But as we make our way over here, not too sure about this area. It might be some type of like another community spot of like parks and diners and grocery stores, maybe even like a place where people can do like arts and crafts, maybe a little barber shop. We just don't know just yet. And now over here will be all the farm area. So we'll have some farm fields, a little barn, maybe even a farmer's market, a little bar, maybe even a barber shop, hair salon. I don't know. I just want to add in a lot of really unique things that make this area and the other parts their own individual like little towns. So I will definitely add in a lot of trees to make it closed in but open at the same time, if that makes sense. Because I feel like small towns, they have a lot of, you know, history, knowledge, but they're very spread out. And I always thought making my own custom hood, I wanted to go above and beyond, but make it not too over the top, but make it unique for myself, because I want to eventually play in this hood and like carry out like the legacies and the storylines that I've created with my Twitch chat and just see what I can possibly do. And like I said, today is my birthday and I wanted to do something special for me as a present. But regardless, I hope you all definitely really enjoyed this neighborhood, you know, the idea of it. What are your thoughts, opinions? If you have ideas for this hood that you want me to put into this neighborhood, let me know down in the comments below as always. But with that being said, I do hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below as always of what you thought. Give me your ideas, opinions. I will put a link down below to Alex Art's YouTube video and channel, along with a download link to install this custom terrain that I've made for you all, essentially, because eventually when I finish it, it will be up for download and it will do a whole showcase, preview, reveal video, everything, so you can kind of get a gist of what's to come. But as always, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Dag dag, and goodbye, everyone!